How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
How's
Good.
everybody doing?
Good. I think my voice is about to die out.
Awesome. I'm Giovanni Maccarrone. I'm a hypnotherapist, life, relationship, and dating coach here in Toronto. And I know we've all heard of those coaches, just think positive and, if you believe, you can do it. And that's not what I do. People come to me when they feel stuck in dating, in relationships, and in themselves. And I found the three main reasons that are keeping them stuck. But before I tell you, I want to make this fun and I want to make this interactive because things are better when there's fun, right? Yes. Okay, cool. So on the count of three, we're all going to clap. Okay? 1, 2, 3, go! Awesome. Now, how's everybody feeling?
Good.
Better. Yeah.
Okay, good. So out of the when people come to me, the three main reasons that I found which are keeping them stuck is they're not feeling self-love, they're not feeling confident, and they're not feeling motivated, right? So that's your psychology. But let me ask you, is your psychology the only thing that gets you results in life? Just yell it out loud, yes or no. Is it the only thing that gets you results in life, your psychology? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay, no, exactly. It's actually, you need the mechanics. You need the actual strategies. But 80% of success is your psychology. 20% is the mechanics. And psychology is just a big word for your emotions and your mindset, which all comes from your emotions. So, when something doesn't work, you try something else. And something doesn't work, you try something else. And something doesn't work, you try something else. And when another thing doesn't work, you try something else. And you try something else, you try something else. Who's done this before? Okay, awesome. But out of the three main reasons I found out of those three main reasons, I found the most important one. And I'm going to ask you, what do you think is the most important one between self-love, confidence, and motivation? You could just yell it out loud.
Self-love.
Self-love?
Motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation. And Brennan?
Self-love.
Self-love. Okay. So it's actually self-love. Because when you feel self-love, when you feel yourself, when you feel passionate, when you're living out of what's natural, you feel motivated, you feel more confident, and you feel connected with yourself. So that whatever happens, it's an emotion that's bigger than yourself. It's like a meaning that's bigger than yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. But here's the thing. Most people don't actually feel true self-love. They think they do, but they actually don't. And what I mean by self-love is just being fully yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Most of us are trying to be someone we're not, even if it's like a little bit this way, a little bit that way. But what I believe and find with all my clients, self-love is when you're just yourself, when you're aligned with yourself. You're not chanting things in the mirror. You're not, doing self-care or whatever. You're just being yourself as we were when we were kids. You know what I mean? So, and what I found is feeling self-love is the number one reason why people have success, or lack of self-love is why they have failure in dating and relationships. Because if you don't feel self-love, if you don't have that base, if you're not connected to that base, and you're not living out of yourself, you're either too anxious in a relationship. So listen to this. See if you could relate to this. If you've maybe seen this in somebody else. They're too anxious, like me. Who's seen this before? You know what I mean? Okay, I'll pay for this. I'll do this. Oh, let's do this. Come on. Okay. And they keep sacrificing themselves because they're too anxious. Just like me. Because they've learned that connection gives them safety, and they don't feel connection by themselves because they're not connected with their self-love. So they like me. Another pattern when someone doesn't have self-love is they're distant, they're avoidant. They're like, don't get too close because you're going to find out that I'm just a piece of shit. That's what they believe. Who's seen that pattern before? Okay, right. That's the avoidant pattern. And some people do both. They're like me, like me, like me. But if you get too close, whoa, 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 I back away. Who's seen that pattern before? Okay. And all of those patterns will fuck up a relationship for you and for the other person because it's not secure. A secure relationship is when you're yourself and when you communicate, when you're open, when you're vulnerable, you get everything on the table and you see if you're a good match. And if you're not, you might want to be with that person, but you're okay if you're not, and you could move on to the next person, and you could be okay in yourself as well. Cool. So if you're not, for example, noticing red flags, or if you're putting up with shit all the time, or if you don't set boundaries, or if you can't get close to somebody, or if you can't trust somebody, or if you feel like you always have to be in control so that the other person doesn't leave you, if you're always dating assholes, bitches, men who act like bitches, women who act like assholes, and this is the pattern for you, the main reason I found is that you aren't feeling true self-love. Up until this point, does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then we got, awesome. And then we got Kay who just came in. Hello, Kay. Is this a sexist meeting? This probably isn't the meeting for you if you're calling this sexist already.
Oh no, I'm not calling. I asked a question.
Oh,
I just didn't know, like, why in such a meeting you would use the term bitch.
Yeah, I totally get it. This probably isn't the meeting for you.
Well, I mean, I've studied psychology. Why? How is? And I'm an INFJ. How is this not a meeting for me?
Sure. Okay. So as promised, I'm going to show you what I believe is the most common pattern in the world amongst humans, and why so many people don't feel self-love. But instead of just telling you, I'm going to show you an image that will explain this pattern and the basis of every other pattern and why you do anything in life. Okay? So, let's see.
I'll give you should, okay, there we go.
Do you just see the 6 human needs or my whole screen?
The whole screen.
Okay, cool. There we go. The 6 human needs. Ooh. Okay. So these are specific emotional states that we must and do experience 24/7. We tell ourselves any belief we have and any action we take, it's because we've associated it to meet one or more of these 6 human needs. Okay? So we meet the first 4 24/7 no matter what, even if we have to lie to ourselves. The last 2 we don't have to meet, but when we do at high levels, we feel fulfilled. So we'll go through them together to learn. And this is why you do anything in life. So this is for dating, relationships, work, body, anything in life. Ready?
Yeah. Ready.
Yeah, okay, awesome. So the first one, and we'll say it out loud. The first one is the need for
Certainty.
Certainty.
Okay, so we'll do this together. The first need is the need for
Certainty.
certainty. Okay, good. That was good, Dennis. The need to feel secure. You have enough food on the table. You know, there's no war going on. Your health is in good enough condition. There's a certain amount of safety and security that you feel, and at least enough to get to the next day. Make sense?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Cool. The next need is the need for
Variety.
Cool. So that's the opposite need. You need something different. You need something new. You need something unique. For example, when you're like, hey, let's go check out that new restaurant or that new movie. Oh my God, that happened. That was different. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. The next need is the need for
Significance.
Significance. To feel special, to feel needed, to feel wanted. Like you have meaning, what you do has meaning. In dating and relationships, it means that you matter in the relationship. You know, you're not just a lot of breakups occur because people feel like they don't matter in a relationship. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. And the next need, the need for
Love
Love
and connection.
connection.
loving connection. Cool.
Loving connection, yeah.
Good, Dennis. To feel loving, connected within ourselves, or it could be our community, it could be our friends as well. It could be like our work colleagues, anything that feels a loving connection with ourselves or our community. The next need is the need for
Contribution
Growth.
or growth.
okay, we'll do that again. So the next need is the need for
Growth.
Growth.
growth. Okay. So if you're not growing, you're dying. In a relationship, even if everything is fine, but it's just like even keel all the time and always status quo, like it's just staying where it is, how does that feel? And just yell it out loud how that feels.
Horrible.
Static.
Horrible, static.
That's
Okay, how does that feel?
How does, sorry, what feel?
No problem. How does it feel when in a relationship, even if everything is good, but it's not growing, it's just staying the same? How does that feel?
Well, so many ways. I mean, but it's certainly unfulfilling. It's frustrating when you're a person who really works a lot on your relationship and on yourself. It's especially frustrating because then you're carrying almost the whole relationship.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So growth is like, as Kay said, it's you feel fulfilled when you're growing. And we got physio banks here. The next need is the need for
contribution. Contribution.
contribution. That's giving beyond yourself. So that could be, so once you grow, now you have something to give. That could be to your partner, that could be to your family, that could be to your community, that could be having kids. It's giving beyond yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Any questions about what any questions about what any of these needs mean? And just say it out loud because someone else might have the same question.
How many of them do you need all these for a relationship? But what are the most significant ones in a relationship? Because I know all relationships are different.
Wow, that's a really good question. Okay. So we always meet at least the first four, 24/7, no matter what. Like they're needs, they're not wants. So we always meet them. So like, even if you say, I don't have any certainty in my life, there's a part of you that you'll believe something, or you'll tell yourself a story that will make you feel like you have at least some certainty. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Well,
And
I would
Yeah.
add something, Giovanni.
I'm sorry, Kay?
May I please add something?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Also, a certainty would be, a lack of scarcity. So if you have enough food at home, if you have a home, a stable home, if you have an income or someone else is paying your overhead, where that you're taken care of, the basics.
Yes. At least a basic need, yeah. And how do you feel when you don't know where your next meal is coming from, or if there's going to be a roof over your head, or if there's going to be violence in the house the next day? How does that feel?
Absolutely. Horrific. Always, yes, always. A lot of people are frightened by it as well. Uncertainty can just drive stress through the roof, and it destroys our health.
Yes, exactly. So uncertainty, that's the opposite need. Too much of it will freak out. Like if we don't know how our health is, if we don't know if there's going to be violence in the house, if we don't know if we're going to get hit, if we don't know whatever, and there's like a high chance that we might, we freak out. But we also need some uncertainty. We also need some variety, which is the second need. And Kay, I know that's easy to say from the outside. And you're absolutely right. You need a certain level of certainty first to be able to go into uncertainty. I totally agree with that. So I get you. Now, to really, drill this in, so we really learn it and really apply it to ourselves, we're going to take a concept. So here's the thing. If you meet in relationships, if you're meeting these needs, at least 3 of them at high levels, like 8s, 9s, and 10s, you have a fulfilling relationship. at least 3, and you're quote unquote addicted to it. Like you love it. The goal when I'm working with somebody, just for yourself, is meeting all 6 of these. Both of you in relationship, you meet all 6 of these at high levels, 8s, 9s, and 10s. How would that feel? How would that feel if you can meet all these, you and your partner can meet all these needs at high levels? How would that feel?
It's
Amazing.
fantastic. There's nothing better.
Yeah. Nothing
Awesome.
better.
Nothing better. There you go. Awesome. So just so as a little game, a little exercise, we're going to go through it to really learn. We're going to talk about, let's think of something that you absolutely love. Not really like, but you absolutely love. Like you got to do it. You got to see it. You got to see them, whatever it is. And we're going to go through this list together and see how it meets each of your needs at which levels. Who wants to go first? Abel, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Sure. So something that you absolutely love.
Yeah. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
What is it, if you don't mind sharing?
Oh, investing.
And you absolutely love investing?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, cool. So we'll go through it together. So with investing, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much certainty do you feel?
At this moment or just in general? I knew it was going to come up. I would say like 5 right now.
Okay, 5 right now. Okay. How much variety on a scale from 1 to 10? This is
Variety right now, I would say. I would say a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much significance do you feel like you're doing something meaningful here?
Significance and a 9.
A 9. Okay.
Yeah.
How much love and connection do you feel?
How much love and connection? I would say a 9 as well.
9 as well. Okay.
Yeah.
How much?
Sorry, I'm just congratulating him.
Awesome. Very nice, guy. How much growth do you feel investing?
Growth, I would say like a 7.
A 7. Okay. And how much contribution, like you're giving beyond yourself?
Contribution, I would say that's pretty low right now. I would say like a 3 or a 4.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah. So I think you're using investing because you love certain aspects. Like it makes you feel a couple different ways.
Yeah.
But it's only meeting to your needs at high levels.
Yeah.
Right. And you said significance and love and connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is really good. So this doesn't explain, like this is in the exercise, but what you brought up is what I'm going to get to afterwards. The significance, love and connection play.
Okay.
Okay. And how it relates to relationships as well.
Okay.
So I'm really glad that you brought that up. So thank you. Let's give a round of applause. Yay!
Hey!
Thank you.
Okay, go. Who wants to do the next and tell me what you absolutely love? I'm going to go in order. Dennis, do you want to go?
I love going out, I guess. I've never said that one before, so I love going out. I love being social. After this meeting, I'm supposed to meet up with a friend. I like to talk to new people and learn new things. I'm not that great at using dating apps, so that's usually how I met all the girls I've dated before, in social events, because I like the face-to-face interaction, the human contact. I don't think I come off so great on the computer, so yeah, I like going out. Yeah,
I like going out. No. So it's something you love.
something I love.
Love, like you have to do it. You have to see it.
Fantasy football.
Okay, cool.
Football. I love gambling. I love every Sunday watching the NFL, putting money down. I love the rush of watching NFL Red Zone and seeing if my team is winning or losing. I love looking at my team. I love putting money down. I love seeing how much I've earned each week. It's like investing, but speed investing by week. Right. So that's what I absolutely love.
Right. Okay, cool. Show of hands, who feels a different energy from Dennis right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's when very nice. Okay, that's when you know you love something. It was a different energy. The first one was like, I love going out, I guess. The second one was, oh, fantasy football. I love doing this. I love doing it. I love it. So part of this presentation or part of this time together is for us to become aware of ourselves as well. And becoming aware of ourselves, we know what we love. We know who we are. We go in line with who we are. We could feel better in dating and relationships. Okay. So Dennis, so you said fantasy football and gambling, right?
Yeah.
So how on a scale from 1 to 10, how much certainty do you feel with that?
8.
I was like, this isn't investing, this is gambling. Right? 8, okay. How much variety do you feel? Different, you don't know what's coming up. Boom, boom.
That's if we're ranking on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 9 because there's different games, different matchups every week. Some of them are in division, some of them are out of division between the conferences. So you never know what's going to come. You always place faithful what the experts say and who's available to play, right? So you never know what's coming up, literally.
There you go, you never know. So a 9 of variety, right?
Yeah, 9.
How much significance do you feel either in yourself or that what you're doing is meaningful?
8. 8.
Yeah.
I feel it's fairly significant, and the fact that I wake up on Sunday morning, plan my team to make sure that it's ready to go, and pick which defense I want makes it feel significant. I'm actually part of the league. I'm actually having fun.
Okay, so there's like a certain purpose almost. Like you get up, there's a purpose to your day. Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha. That's significance as well. Purpose. Yeah. How much loving connection do you feel? And I think you just said it right there.
9. 9. I like football a lot. I used to watch hockey a lot. I guess I still do to some extent, but now I watch mostly football and basketball. So yeah.
Awesome. Cool. How much growth do you feel when you're doing the fantasy football, you're gambling?
10. I learn new things about football every time I watch, how to read certain things, how to identify which players are playing well, which ones are not. So 10.
10. Okay. And how much contribution do you feel, giving beyond yourself with this?
I don't think I'm giving as much contribution to society with it. So I kind of have to rank it like 7 or an 8. But for me personally, I think I guess an 8. And in terms of giving back to society, a little bit less than that. I feel like I'm contributing like a positive state of mind, giving myself something to look forward to, showing positive energy towards others who also play the game, and so on.
Okay, cool. So contribution, it's not high.
7.5. Yeah.
7.5. Okay, go. So contribution is 7.5, but the other ones were all like 8s, 9s, and 10s, right?
Right.
Okay, by show of hands, you see why Dennis loves this. Okay. He's associated to meet his 5 out of 6 of his needs at high levels. All he needs is 3 to be addicted to it, and he's meeting 5 of them. There's a reason he loves it. So if someone could feel this much like their needs are this fulfilled in fantasy football or gambling, imagine if we could applying that to dating or relationship. Yeah, right. Imagine if the other person feels that way as well. So you're both feeling that way. And then Bob, I would come to you, but I think, is Bob still on? Yeah. But I think your audio is deactivated, so we're not able to do that. But if you want to come off audio, I definitely would love to do. And then Kay, do you feel comfortable, doing it together?
I would. I just don't really have much going on in my life right now. I'm just working on my health.
Okay.
So I'm not really much attention to the things that I enjoy.
Is there something you love?
Not that I can really answer the questions about today. You know what I mean? Like I'm really focused on healing and growing spiritually. So I don't really think about those things anymore, right now during this period. I'd rather give someone else a chance.
Okay. Well, you're the last person in the line. So.
Well, Brennan didn't speak. We haven't heard from Brennan or Bob.
So, yeah, Bob,
right.
he's doesn't want to do the audio, so that's totally okay.
Oh.
Brennan.
Yeah, I don't mind going.
Go, Brennan. Okay, tell me. What do you love, Brennan?
So I guess growing the community, working on the community, finding new event hosts, reaching out, just doing the day-to-day on getting everything up and running.
Okay, cool. So again, show of hands, who feels the energy from him? Kay's hand. Awesome.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay, awesome, good. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much certainty do you feel, Brennan, like when you're doing this?
How much I would say probably close to 7 or 8.
7 or 8, okay.
Yeah.
There's some problems.
There's some priority in it, but it's like, but there is a little bit more certainty. It's not like, oh, I know exactly what I'm running into. I know exactly how this new event host is going to turn out, or what the event. You've talked to me on during the day-to-day stuff, so there's a lot of open-ended, unanswered questions that we have for each event. So
right, for sure. So you said a 6 or a 7, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. And how much variety on a scale from 1 to 10?
Probably close to that too. If not a little bit more, closer to probably 9 or 10. Just because there is so much that we don't know about how the events are going to go, or what's going to happen, what is going to fail, etc., etc.
Right. So there's a lot of variety.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Love and connection, I would say, is a 10. Absolutely connecting with the event host, connecting with the audience, chatting on the Discord, hanging out with new people, bringing in new people, because the community itself is a people-oriented thing. It's not like some random tinker project that I'm working on in the garage.
Right.
So as far as growth, I mean, that's kind of, if you take the certainty and priority in it, I mean, it is the growth. It is contributing. Actually, I mean, you can combine the two here, because it's like, okay, I'm growing myself. I'm learning from you. I'm learning from other event hosts. I'm learning from Dawn. I'm learning from just random experiences we have. But yeah, the contribution, I think it's kind of self-descriptive, like hosting the events and teaching people new stuff, and like, okay, I learned how to do dream analysis. Let me bring, maybe not, I don't host that event, but let me bring those concepts to my event so that I can help other people. So
I think it was 4 or 5 of those 4 or 5 were at 8s, 9s, and 10s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see why you love it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. Good. By show of hands, does everybody else see why he loves it?
Unfortunately, I missed most of that, Brennan. I was looking forward to learning more about you. I missed it. So maybe Giovanni, do you have you're recording this. I see that. I'd like to hear it. As I heard 9s and 10s, and I'm thinking, damn, Brennan has a great life. That's incredible. Good for you.
Thank you very much.
And Bob, you're in Bob, you're in INFJ. There you go. Awesome. And Kay, but let me ask you, Kay, do you have a pet?
No, but I used to have pets.
Okay. Something sounded different there. Do you remember your pets?
Oh, do I remember them? I
mean, which one sticks out to you the most?
Oh, well, several do. They're different species. Anyhow, yes, I can answer then, yes.
Okay. So how much certainty do you feel with pets?
Absolutely. Well, I would say 9.5. And I would say even, oh yeah, with domestic animals, and I would say even a good solid 8 with wild animals.
Very nice. Interesting. Okay. And how much variety do you feel with animals?
I love all sorts of animals.
So how much variety? On a scale from 1 to 10.
Oh, well, absolutely 10.
10, okay. How meaningful do you feel when you're with the animals, when you're maybe taking care of them or connecting with them?
Yeah, I would say 9.
9, okay. How much love and connection do you feel with them?
I haven't really known an animal for a while, but I used to. I'd say if I know the animal, I'd say a good 9. If I don't know the animal, up to 9.
Up to 9. Okay, cool. How much growth do you feel when you're with animals?
Well, I feel spiritually and just whole body, like energetically, It really, if you're into animals, it really goes to your core because they're so loving. They're so accepting. You know, the animals that will accept us, that will trust us.
Right.
So again, a high, a high value, like 8 or 9.
8 or 9, there you go. And how much contribution do you feel when you're with animals?
Well, I'm not volunteering with animals right now, so because I judge because I have high standards for myself, I would say a very low rating, 1 or 2.
Okay. So with certainty, variety, significance, loving, connection, and growth, they were all 8s, 9s, and 10s, right?
Yes.
You see why you love it? You love
Oh
animals?
yeah, definitely. I'm a very grateful person.
Very grateful person?
I'm very grateful. Sorry. Yes, I didn't know you could hear me. Yes, I'm a very grateful person. So I do think about these things, yes. And it does make life easier and nicer in the end.
Very nice. Cool. And did you say you're an INFJ? Is that what you said?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I could tell by the way you're talking. I could tell in your voice too. That makes perfect sense. Okay, cool. Very nice. Thank you, Kay. Okay, cool. So we got this. So everybody meets again, at least the first 4, 24/7. But we tend to value 2 above the rest. And when you know this, you know what to look for in a partner. You know, firstly, you know how to act yourself, and you know how to be yourself, and what to look for in a partner. Knowing your top 2 needs and knowing their top 2 needs, at least one of them has to be the same. If both of them are different, it's not going to work. One of your top 2 has to be the same as at least one of their top 2. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What creates, so they say, opposite, they say, opposites attract. And some people go, that's bullshit. Just go for, what's in common. So commonality creates comfortability, which creates certainty. And that creates a feeling of love when you're comfortable with each other. Polarity, when things are totally different energies, for example, masculine versus feminine energy, for example, that's what creates variety, and that's what creates attraction. That's what creates that spark and passion. Does that make sense? Dennis, you're smiling. Why are you smiling like that?
I just find it interesting you said that because I hear a lot about that when we have these talks about mental health at work, right? Passion and stuff. And it just reminded me of that moment when I was having that group mental health chat with this counselor that came in, and you reminded me of how to deal with people that want to jump off the train tracks onto the subway line. Sorry for those folks who are terminology. I work for TTC, but yeah.
The subway station, the transit station, transit company. Right. So the passion I think they're talking about, I think, is love and connection. So, yeah. So this is the certainty and variety thing. So you need similar values. So one of the top 2 needs has to be the same. That creates love. That creates compatibility. But you also need things to be different. You need different. So that's where variety comes in. For example, so certainty is, you know everything about them and you feel comfortable with them and there's love. But what happens when you know everything about a person? How does it feel over time when you know every single little thing about a person? You can either make the sound of it or the word that comes to your mind.
I mean, in terms of specifically certainty and variety, I would say that I guess I'm guilty of this, but I try to have the same values someone that I'm dating, but sometimes it doesn't work like you're going to have the same values. And I've dated people that are extremely different from me because I was still able to find common ground. I think these 2 things are however important because what I've found out, unfortunately, is that those big issues that you don't agree on keep reverberating back when you have conflicts in your relationship. And that's what leads to breakups.
Right. So it's the same value, at least one of them, but different energies, different ways of going about it. Okay. So Dennis made a really good point there. He said, correct me if I'm wrong, you said you try to you try to have the same values as them. Is that right?
Right. Try
Yeah.
to.
Try to. So that's, it sounds like what I was talking about before about that anxious pattern. I will sacrifice myself and change myself for us to connect. And then when shit hits the fan, I'm pissed because I sacrificed myself and I molded myself to meet your needs, and then I'm not getting my needs met. True or false?
True.
True.
Okay. Good, Dennis. Yeah. I was saying for you, Dennis. Right. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Good. So I know I'm playing back and forth with you. So that's good for being honest and vulnerable with us. Good. Cool. So we all meet at least the first four, but we tend to value two above the rest. So we're gonna go through everybody, and we're gonna find out what your real top two needs are. And this will be, we'll start with Abel because I can see the confusion in your face. And there's a reason you're confused, and that's good, so we can learn something. What do you think your top two needs are, Abel?
I would say certainty.
Certainty.
And then love and connection.
Okay. Okay. So firstly, certainty of what?
I think I've been very focused on like stability right now, and just feeling like I can actually understand where the person's coming from. So when you mentioned the whole people who are similar, I dated a lot of people who were very different personalities than I am. And while the spark is great and the passion's there, I find now that I'm more attracted to someone who has a lot of similarities because I can understand them. So.
Okay. I think there's something that's not making sense there. Why else do you want certainty? Or what's the real reason? I'll say that.
I think there's a little bit of fear. Like, yeah, I think I've been hurt in the past in relationships. So like, everything, yeah, a lot of the things I do now is the priority is safety and stability.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, good.
Yeah.
Good. And who's been hurt in a relationship before? Show of hands. Yeah, there we go. We all have. And we probably will again. Aren't you glad you came to this positive? Is that what you said? What do you say, Dennis?
Just joking. Yeah. I said maybe, but I'm just joking. We probably all will be again. Yeah.
Right. And that's part of life. So we've all been hurt. And what you said about was perfect. I'm glad you're bringing all this up, because a lot of us, and I'll get to that later, actually. I don't want to spoil it. But let me ask you. So is certainty actually in your real top two needs?
I guess it'd be right now. There's a little bit of like a shadow because I don't. But I would say I think I really value growth. I don't know if that would be the replacement for certainty if I felt more safe.
Okay, so that's better. Let me throw it back at you. What about variety?
Variety.
Yeah.
I could use some variety for sure.
Okay, I could use some variety. I'm saying, how is that what you naturally value? Is it, which one do you think you naturally value more, growth or variety?
I think growth, probably 100%.
Okay, so feel how you're feeling as you're saying growth, or as you're feeling. Yeah,
let's say growth.
Just feel how you're feeling as you're saying it, or as thinking it. Okay. And then now think about variety and feel how you feel.
Variety.
Does it feel different?
I'm not great with my feelings. I'm an ENTJ. So I have like, it's my shadow function. variety, and growth.
What about love and connection or significance for you? Maybe
Yeah,
we're on that
definitely
opposite
love and
point.
connection for sure. I would say I'm gonna go with growth. Um, but it could be variety. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. And thank you for playing along. That's awesome. So you said love and connection is first or second?
Yeah, first. I would say love and connection first.
Okay, cool. So when you first said your top two, you put that second. But it's actually first. And I heard it in your voice when you first said it. You're right.
Yeah.
Now, so we're thinking that it's love and connection first and then growth second, right?
You just made me. Yes, you're right. Yeah, love and connection is definitely first.
Yeah, okay, good.
Excellent.
What'd you say, Kay?
No, I understand him. I understand. He's trying to be like so ethical to himself, like so precise, accurate. I can completely identify. How do you pronounce your name?
It's Abel.
Abel. Okay, yes, I can completely understand it, but see, I do it internally.
Yeah.
You're saying it aloud, but yes, I understand.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. So love and connection. You're saying love and connection first. We got that. Was that a breakthrough, by the way?
That is a breakthrough. I just
Yeah.
had like a little bit of a light bulb moment. So yeah.
And how do you pronounce her name? Because I've been pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, it's Abel.
Abel.
Wow.
Abel made a breakthrough. Yay!
I'm just thinking like peripherally. I'm thinking about a current person that I'm dating, and I'm understanding why there's a little bit of a disconnect now because, yeah. So yeah, continue. I don't want to interrupt you, but
No. This is interactive, so this is good. But thanks for the respect. So love and connection first. So knowing that, does that change your dating relationship and relationship life?
yeah, I mean, it just brought a lot more clarity about what it is that I need, not what I want. It's a need.
Okay.
You know?
Right. Okay. This is what I'm talking about, getting back to ourselves. That's what self-love is. So love and connection first. And you're saying growth is second. What my intuition is telling me is you want growth to be second. I actually think it's variety.
Okay.
It's something for you to think about. I don't know for sure. That's what that's what I'm feeling. That's for something for you to think about, process as we talk, or just the next few days or whatever. Okay, but just to know that love and connection is first. Awesome, good stuff.
Yeah,
good stuff. So when you're in the relationship, to make sure that I would say love and connection is first for them as well. Is it first for the person you're in a relationship with?
Yeah, I'm still in exploration mode, and I would need now. I think what I'm realizing now is that I may not feel as connected as I would like to, and maybe that's why there's a little bit of a disconnect. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I think what happened for everybody watching, and then it's okay. You're studying psychology, right?
No, I have been. I just have been on my own for many years.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting for you or anybody that's watching this. So what it looks like what happened here is Abel. He finally uncovered that part that he's been, for some reason, closing up for maybe years. I don't know, and it opened up, and now he's feeling the loss of not feeling that loving connection, or not allowing himself to feel a loving connection for so long. Now he's feeling it. Now that's why he's saying, I think I need more of it now, because he's actually feeling it now. Yeah. Is that true or false, Abel?
Yeah, it does feel a little bit liberating to know that that's what I've wanted, and I need that. Yeah.
Yes. Nice. Good. Very good. Awesome. Good. So now we're gonna go for thank you very much. So now we're gonna do Dennis. Dennis, what do you think your top two needs are?
Based on this one, I think right now, I guess love and connection and contribution.
Are you sure?
Not 100%, but those are two identified right off the bat based on my last relationship.
Okay. So what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's okay. Right.
No, what were you saying?
No, I'm just saying I chose these two, love and connection, because I feel like everyone tells me I have a lot of love to give all the time. I don't exactly know what that means, but I like I guess I'm a little more public with my love. I guess I posted on my socials like, little kid, but the beginning at least, and contribution, because sometimes um and it's not necessarily financial. Sometimes you feel like you're carrying the relationship. I don't want to feel like I'm carrying it all the time.
Mm.
Um, and I think that's what happened with my last relationship. I felt like I was doing all the legwork at the end, and it just disintegrated. So,
Right. Okay. So you're like, I think I like to contribute, but it's getting a little bit tiring. I got shit on the last time. Right.
mhm.
So that's why I like contribution, love and connection. I don't know. Okay, so what are your real top two needs?
I guess, um, I guess certainty to an extent. I want to be certain in a relationship that will last longer than, like a year or a year and a half.
Okay, right.
And then, you know, growth. I'd like to try to develop a long-term relationship again that has, significant meaning, and we'll go from step to step. Not necessarily marriage, but I'd like to be together for a little bit of a while with somebody. And
Okay. What about
yeah,
variety? What about variety?
variety matters in the sense that I guess I would like to do different things with them. I would like to probably date somebody or date a girl that had a variety of interests, and in terms of our relationship, have a variety in what we define it as, what we define it as, and how we can improve our relationships and our standing as well as a couple. So variety does matter to me in some sense. Yeah,
Okay. Did you notice you're talking different now versus
yeah,
talking about variety? Did you notice that?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's how we know in ourselves if we're getting closer or if that's it.
Okay,
So
all right.
okay, right. Yeah. So the same as I keep saying it in a foreign way though.
Abel.
Abel. Like
Yeah,
About yeah.
you can call me Abe too. Like I know
no,
it's
because
because
I'm
my parents are Spanish, so it's
oh
pronounced
okay.
Abel, but
Abel.
I know here it's Abel in the U.S.
Abel is fine. I keep saying it like Abel or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Abel. Sounds like Abel's pattern of the certainty variety thing, which I'll get to after this as well. Yeah, and it's not your pattern, it's a common pattern.
Yeah.
By the way, okay. So Dennis, what about variety versus what's more natural to you? Variety, certainty or variety?
Oh, certainty,
No,
certainty.
no, it's not. Because you could say did you feel a little in your voice? Did you feel a little bit of strain in your voice?
Tiny bit, but probably because I didn't drink some water. But yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it's variety.
think about variety now.
Yeah, I think I kind of need variety in a relationship for sure.
Okay, do you feel
I
it
just don't
different?
want to do the same. Yeah, it feels a little different. I just don't want to do the same thing every single day.
There we go. Okay, cool. So let's be honest with ourselves.
Hmm.
So you could free yourself so you know what your top two needs are. So for some reason you're trying to make it certainty, but it sounds like variety is more important to you. I'm not telling you. I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah. I think with variety, it's just hard to define for me because what part of the relationship are we talking about? How variety could be defined as something in a way that would help me with my relationship moving forward. Because I think variety in relationship for me, when people talk about it, all spicing up their personal love lives and stuff like that. Variety for me is like not having every day be the same,
Yeah.
finding different reasons to love somebody in a positive manner. That's what define by variety. I don't know, maybe people probably don't think that, but that's what I would see it as.
How would you feel to with your girlfriend you go on adventures? do fun things, different things.
I would love that.
Okay,
love
look
that,
at this
yeah.
face. Okay. Okay, do you see your face right there?
Hmm.
Okay. By show of hands, can people see that variety is more important to Dennis than certainty? By show of hands. Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Did you feel that, Dennis?
Yeah, for sure. For
Okay.
sure.
There we go. So not variety in the sense, there's going to be a different girl every day. They're going to leave you. Not that variety. Variety in terms of adventures, different things, different fun things to do. Cool. What about to feel loving connection in a relationship?
I do think that's important. Obviously, you have to have a connection beyond the superficial, beyond just looking great. But yeah, it matters to me too.
Okay. So you went in did you feel yourself did that feel different?
Slightly, but not too much. I mean, like I think I need to have that connection where it's like I'm on the same page with this person, right? I enjoy what I do. I love this person for this, that, and that reason. But yeah, it felt slightly different, but not too much, I would think.
Okay. Because looked like you went in your head. You're like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of important. That's important too, I guess. I mean,
Mhm.
there you go. So it might not be that. What about growth?
Yeah, growth.
Okay.
I like to see the relationship go from strength to strength and us evolve in the way we think about each other and do different things. So
Okay.
yeah,
You see how you're more animated now?
yeah.
Okay, cool. What is that telling you?
Growth and variety are the most important ones to me.
Okay, in that order?
Variety and growth. Variety first, and then growth.
No, don't change it for me. Just what do you think?
No. I think it's no. Honest, I think they're on the same, but I think like growth might be a little ahead than variety, just a little bit though.
I think so. Yeah. So what are your top two needs?
Growth and variety.
Okay, there you go. Growth and variety. It sounds right. That sounds right to me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a relationship, you have to make sure that the other person values either growth or variety, or even both, but at least one of them.
Right.
Okay. So if
Okay.
somebody is like a really like certainty driven, like they're so like certainty in the sense they're so scared to do anything. Would you connect with? Would that be the good person for you? Would it be a good person for you? Someone who's so scared to do anything?
No, because I would like for them to understand me and understand who I am. Um, want to do new things. And sometimes I don't always want to be the one saying, let's go here, let's go here. They have to be wanting to do it. So probably no.
There you go. Awesome. Kay, do you want to say something?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not reading certainty to mean fear. I mean, it could mean fear for some, but I'm reading it to mean just someone who likes a solid structure, a solid foundation, really, or maybe they've gone without in the past and they don't want to, maybe they've been impoverished and they don't want to go through that again, that sort of thing. So I think it's just really self-preservation and preparation. That's how I look at it.
Okay. So the good question, and I'll definitely come to you next. So none of these are good or bad. It's firstly, which ones are natural to somebody is the most important thing. And then it's how you go about it. So certainty, we all need certainty. There's a difference between everybody needs a certain amount of certainty versus I'm going to self-preserve all the time because of past fear, which is understandable. But to be truly free is to go in line, is to be free and go align with what's true for you. And it might actually be certainty, but you would approach it in a different way, not in a self-preservation way. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So, Dennis, I just want to work with you as we were saying. So, what about if you could find a girl or a woman that values growth as well, values variety, different experiences as well. How would that feel?
I would like that. I like
Okay.
that, but I don't know how.
What do you mean?
I'm
He
not
doesn't
good
know
at
how to
online
find
dating.
it.
Yeah, exactly that.
What'd she say?
I said that he doesn't know how to find the type of women that he's looking for. When I
Okay.
say, I shouldn't have said type, but I mean, whoever he's looking for, he's having a hard time locating her.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I get it. So there's mechanics in that, like where to meet these people. The thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, you've been looking for the wrong type of woman.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
next time.
Yeah. So that's one of the first steps, knowing what kind of woman to look for. So I think you've found the kinds of women you've found the kind of you've found the kind of woman that you've looked for. You have found them. True.
Yeah,
False?
look, yeah, so far, but I think right now, post relationship, I'm taking a lot of time for myself, but I'm reassessing why these connections, such as growth with certainty, matters. In the past, I just wanted, I guess I'll be blunt here, to have a girlfriend for the sake of having a girlfriend, and
Right.
and that didn't work out.
Good. And I think a lot of us have done that too. So totally get that. Okay. So what I'm saying is, whatever you were looking for before, I think you found. Is that true? Okay, you know
Not
what
totally
I'm
yet.
saying.
Yes,
No,
Yeah,
I know.
absolutely, yeah, in this general context, yeah, but yeah.
through the filters that you were looking through, you
Mhm.
found. Yeah. So now that you're seeing things clearer about yourself. For example, that you value growth first and variety second,
Mhm.
and that you're searching for a woman that values growth and, for example, growth and or variety as well, and loves to do different things. Now, will that give you a different view of the kinds of women that you look at and don't look at?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
yeah, I
Absolutely.
think so.
There we go. There we go.
Mhm.
So that's a good start. So again,
Mhm.
if we're driving on this side, of course we're gonna go there. But when we drive in alignment, then we start seeing things like, oh, I never saw that person before. Oh,
Mhm.
interesting. So we'll talk to this person instead of that person, because this goes in line with what we're thinking or who we actually are.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for participating. Awesome. Cool. Next, Kay. Kay.
Hey,
What do you?
Kay.
Yay! Yay!
Thank you. You're so
Uh,
kind. Thank you. Okay, I would say that my top two would be certainty and contribution.
Okay. So contribution is absolutely right. So could you hear that in your voice? Did you hear
Can
that,
I,
Kay?
can I hear it in my voice?
Did you feel that? Did you feel that energy, that vibe?
Oh, I always feel my own energy, absolutely. And
That's
I'm
why I asked.
very passionate about these types of, this topic. So
Right.
yes.
So yeah. So contribution is absolutely right. What
Mhm.
about what about certainty though?
Well, I think because I'm also Capricorn, so anyone who might know anything about astrology. So certainty for me is just normal. I'm used to working and providing and all of that. I'm
Okay.
used to, not that I do, I'm not, I'm just saying in general, like those sorts of earthly things, those sorts of just responsibility type things are so much a part of just who I am. Right. So that really, even I'm good at making money, but I'm not interested in it. I'm not into it. Like Abel is into it. He's passionate about investments. Right. But, so for me, it's also not a fear. It's just part of who I am, just those sorts of things. And they're important to me. It's important to have a home and know that whatever comes, you're going to be okay. Or like to have several pieces of land, if you need to escape war or think, like I'm sort of a practical thinker, and I know there's a depression coming. I know there's war coming, all of this. So, I don't know. I really do think that that's a big part of me.
Okay. Okay. So I totally get it. So it sounds like you grew up you grew up with very little certainty in your life. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
I grew up with losers in my household, but we had everything we needed. But so okay, in certain ways, sure. In regard to emotionally, but I've been resilient my whole life, so I'm really grateful for that. So I don't really suffer that much in those ways.
What do you really love? What are you really actually passionate about? Because you said it's not money. What are you actually passionate about?
Well, I'm in the arts, so I mean, I really love variety. That's important. But the thing is, because I'm an INFJ, my brain is already incredibly creative and imaginative and vibrant. Like I could have other worlds in my mind. I mean, there's some other people, I know other types that are like that too. But so even if I were like right now, I have been isolated for 8.5 years. Like I live in isolation, pretty much not complete isolation. And I haven't really missed other humans, even though I'm an extroverted ambivert.
Okay.
Like I'm just saying I have so many interests. So like variety is, so what I'm saying is as long as I'm not comatose, I don't really need external variety. It's
Okay.
nice. It's nice. I like it.
So what do you really value then? What are you really passionate about?
Oh, well, we already went over this, but you want an actual topic?
What are you more passionate about than self-preservation?
Oh, in regard to the 6 human needs.
Yeah.
Back to the list. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've already mentioned certainty, contribution, and variety. I mean, I'm incredibly loving. So love, well, I like growth. I mean, for me, love just comes with it. Like
Okay.
any way you know me, you're gonna get love from me.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I would say growth. Growth is incredibly important to me.
Okay. How much has so growth, do you feel different now as you say growth versus certainty?
Well, I'm more passionate about it, but it's not like it doesn't matter more to me though, I have to admit. I really strongly stand by my initial decision. Because I'd have to say certainty and contribution with a very close third and fourth being variety. Well, I guess, yeah, see, that's the problem, right? I've got 5 choices. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I would say, yeah, certainty, contribution, variety and growth, because yeah, love just is present. So those 4.
So I think it's contribution first and growth second. But but I respect what you think. And then as we move along, we could always ask ourselves and review again. Cool. Okay.
Oh, do I have to do something else?
No, I said this is. I believe it's yours is contribution first and growth second. Your real top 2 needs. But as we go along in this presentation, we could as we talk more, we could always review after again, just in ourselves as well or out loud. Cool.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then we have Certzi, who just came in. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? I'm here just lurking because I don't really have issues with dating or anything at all, but I'm an anthropologist and sociologist, so I like to learn a lot. So that's why I'm here, but it's pronounced Certzi.
Certzi, okay.
Yeah.
The Certzi I was talking to on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put my video on so I'm not just like a talking voice. But yeah, hey, how's it going?
Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hey.
Yeah.
Good, okay. So maybe we could go through this. Would you like to go through this together? I'll go through it really fast, and then we'll play along with you as well. Cool.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
And then Lolly will come to you as well, okay? Because she just came in as well. Okay, so Certzi. So these are so we'd have to go through them really fast, but these are 6 human needs. So emotional states that we always experience. we always need certainty, which is a need to feel safe and secure, to have a certain level of, again, safety, like our health is in good condition, we have enough food on the table, there's no earthquake, everything is good. We also need the second need, which is variety, something that's different, new, exciting, just something that's different. The next need is to feel significant, to feel special, needed, wanted, like your life has meaning, like what you do has meaning and purpose. The next need is for love and connection, to feel love and connected within yourself and to people around you as well. The next need is a need for growth. So in a relationship or dating or in yourself, if something's not growing, it's dying. And the next need is a need for contribution, to give beyond yourself. Does that all make sense? Okay. So I know we went through it fast, but so people meet at least the top 4. Any belief you have, any story you tell yourself, any action you take, it's because you've associated to meet at least one or more of these needs. And we always meet at least the first 4. But this is about learning about yourself. So I'm gonna ask you, people tend to value 2 needs above the rest. What do you think your top 2 needs are?
Probably the significance and the growth.
Okay, in that order?
Like equally, I guess.
Nope. Which one's more?
Probably significance.
Okay, significance is more. And do you feel like if you grow, you'll be more significant?
I guess I would appreciate growth, but I guess you could always just hold on to memories if it doesn't,
So
what's significant
significant
at the present time.
So significance first, and what's second?
Growth second.
Are you sure?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I don't think so, because the way you're saying it.
Well, they're all pretty important, but I guess number 1, significance.
Okay, and what about number 2 though?
Probably growth.
You still think it's growth? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're saying significance first, and actually, we're gonna get to that because it's not actually significant, and I'll explain why after. Okay. So I know you're operating that way, but I don't think that's your real top.
Hmm.
Okay. By the way, I'm a little bit challenging in this,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. Cool. But I'll explain later why a lot of us put significance first when it's really not.
Oh, that's pretty common?
Yes, it's common. It's very common. Cool. Dennis is like, yeah, okay. So we'll definitely come back to you. But thank
I
you.
guess it just feels really vague. I bet if I had like different scenarios, and I would be like, okay, this would be the thing, but
you know what? Honestly, before you said it, I thought in my head that you're valuing significance. I already thought that. So I think you're right that you're operating that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's your real top need, and I'll explain later why. It's very common. Cool.
Did you develop this list?
No, it's from Tony Robbins put it together.
Oh, okay, cool. He's cool.
Yes. So definitely come back to you. Thank you. Round of applause for Certzy. Okay, awesome. And Lolly, is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Lolly, hi. How are you?
Hello.
Do you feel comfortable going on video chat?
No, just because it's chaotic where I'm at. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's fine. So did you follow us when we went through all the needs?
Yeah, I couldn't hear the certainty, but for me, they are all pretty important. It's really hard to pick one because it really depends. It really depends on the scenario. It depends on the phase of life you're at, I would say, in a relationship.
Okay. So in general, for yourself, what do you feel are your top 2 needs that you value above the rest?
Yeah, top 2 would be connection and significance, for sure.
Okay. Why do you say connection and not loving connection?
Connection because
No, why do you say connection and not loving connection?
Oh, loving just because I think they're the same.
Okay.
Yeah, just a perspective. I feel like they are the same. Yeah.
Okay. And then you said significance next?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it's not, and I'll show you why. This is the exact pattern I was just explaining. That's a very, very common pattern.
Okay.
And I'll explain why, and then we could redo it, or you could redo it within yourself. Cool.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, good. And then Brennan, what do you think? What do you think your top two needs are?
Certainty and significance.
Certainty. Oh yeah, we did this last time. I remember. So certainty
Yeah.
first and significance second.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, if you watch me, it's pretty pretty clear how, like, I mean, in OPS terms, this actually relates a lot of it. It's DI, so it's like, okay, my idea, like, I need to feel my way with my system, screw everyone else. And it comes off as egotistical, but at the end of the day, it's a human need. So I have to kind of balance it out with love and connection at the end of the day.
Right. Okay. And are you saying significance is more important to you than love and connection?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. Very good honesty. So that's how you're operating for sure. Okay. Good. Thank you for everybody. So now we're going to go on to common patterns with this and how it affects you in relationships. Did Cersei leave? Oh,
No.
she's still here. Okay.
Yeah, she's in the middle.
She's here. Okay. Awesome. So there's a couple. Really common patterns. Number one is where people value certainty, and it's not really certainty. It's variety. So a lot of people, varieties, for some people, varieties in their top needs. They love things that are different and new and exciting, but they've had experiences where they got hurt. And after that, they told themselves, I gotta, color between the lines. I have to play it safe because I don't want to get hurt again. They start playing it safe. Now, for the woman in this group, when they go with a safe guy, how does that feel? You can make the sound or say the word that comes to your mind when you go with a safe guy.
There's no such. There's absolutely no such thing. There's no such thing as a safe guy. I don't know what you mean.
Okay. The one that everything, okay, nothing's 100% safe. You're absolutely right. But everything's like, they do everything in a specific order. They never color outside the lines. They maybe have a stable job or as stable as possible.
I've never known such a man.
No? Okay.
Men can do basically whatever they want. And I find even the straight-laced ones, they're up to something, or there's just something, they're not what they've seen, in my experience anyway, and in several countries.
I hear you.
Wow.
I hear you.
I'm putting my hand up
Yes,
since I can't seem to find a hand thing on the yeah. Anyway, this question's for Kay. Do you think that's because of your experiences or what the world is like now? Because I know when I was in high school, we used to talk a lot about the nice guy trademark and how he wasn't really a nice guy. He was just a guy who was being nice to take advantage, or he turned into an evil monster whenever all his friends were away.
Well, I happen to know because I'm an activist, so I talk to a lot of people. I'm in the entertainment industry too. So I talk to a lot of people around the world of various backgrounds, age groups, etc. And it just is, unfortunately, I do love men, but it just is true that men have allowed their standards to drop and they are treating people worse in general, especially women and girls. So, it is very hard for women today to really trust men, even the men that they say, some people say they're sweet or they're nice or kind or whatever, because with these, the andro supremacist terrorist groups, the red pill manosphere cults and gangs, they're pushing for people to become dark triads. They're pushing for them to become cluster B personality disordered abusers against women and girls. So it's very dangerous for us out here now. And also the police, generally speaking, will not arrest on the coercive control abuse laws. The laws that finally have come out in the last 8 years or so, only recently in North America, the last 3 years. And it's gotten a lot worse out here for us. who do love men, and we're, you know, looking for good men. But anyway, back to the nice guy thing. Like I've never understood, like I really felt bad for men. I remember, you know, in the 90s, that was really being pushed, that ridiculous propaganda against nice men, like, you know, men who identified as good guys or nice men or whatever. And it started to really turn them, you know, to really cause them to become resentful, you know, hating women more, you know, that kind of thing. And it's not true. Women do want good men. Women do want responsible, caring, mature, you know, people who work on themselves, do self-development, and are honest about their shortcomings, their whatever. We can handle it, you know. So it's been a lot of misguiding of men and boys, and also with, again, these red pill manosphere cults and gangs are so dangerous. They're just destroying so many people. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take all this time, but it gets me thinking about things that are very important. And it's to all of us, you know. You know, there's some women here now too. It's not just me anymore as the only woman. So yeah, it's really important to all of us, men, boys, women, girls, and everyone else. You know, we really need to talk about these things because we can work it out. Men and women can work it out. And women are missing men. Like we're missing the good men. I don't know. See, I don't understand the propaganda, right? This nice guy or good guy or whatever. Maybe Giovanni, can you explain that?
Sure,
Yeah.
that's a good question. But first, I want to get to the safe guy thing. And I know when I said it, I believe sorry, Cersei had a reaction. So my question was, there you go. See, there you go. Cersei, how do you feel with a quote unquote safe guy?
I really like safe guys because
Yeah.
I'm so not safe. So
Okay.
it's like a good balance.
Okay. Interesting.
I feel like it would get really boring if both people in the relationship are really safe. I think that I don't know how that would work.
Okay, so is safe the new word for square, like people used back in the 50s? Square.
When I think of safe, I think of like routine. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably square, but square feels like people can't really have fun. So I don't know if that would, I don't know. When I think of square, I think of like somebody that doesn't dance and only works and doesn't even have coffee and stuff. But with safe, I think
Yeah,
of
it's square. It's square.
when I think of like safe, I think of like somebody that wakes up on a regular schedule, probably has regular healthy food and stuff like that.
So disciplined, self-respecting. Like that's just discipline and self-respect. Or I don't know your age though, but so yeah, just responsible then?
When I say
Responsible?
no, I know what you're saying. When I say safe, I mean overly responsible. Square, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. So Cersei, you're saying that because you're so not
I'm sporadic. So I think
yeah.
I don't think I would I don't think square if that's what safe means. I don't know if that's a good thing in my opinion.
Okay. So you like responsible, but not, what about square though?
I think square would be hard to live with. I'm not sure.
Okay, you said that very nicely.
Okay, so
Exactly.
what about like, so what, maybe like the man next door, the boy next door, like somebody who just works in town, that kind of thing? Like just like an average, like somebody who just goes to the mall, goes to work, comes home, doesn't do anything else, real like whatever, video games or whatever. You know, but I
That's
mean like
that's an
that
example,
kind of
yeah.
life? Okay.
Yes.
Now I understand it. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. There we go. And then Lolly, would you like to chime in as well? How you feel with a quote unquote safe / square guy?
Yeah, I mean, earlier I had an idea, and then listening to everybody, now I'm confused.
Okay.
But honestly speaking, again, I think this only goes to personality, type of personality I have. I am kind of like that. I am disciplined. And having a partner like that it's a unicorn. The first thing I thought about was a unicorn type of person, because it's really tough, I would say, these days to find a person like that without drama or without previous baggage, which is okay because everybody carries one, especially as we grow older. It's fine. But I just think that at a point it might get boring because I'm that type of person as well.
Right. Okay, it makes sense. Yeah. Okay, good. So for everybody, so when I'm talking about people are valuing certainty and it's not their real top need, I mean certainty in a unhealthy way, in terms of them being too responsible, and that's not natural for them. They're being too square, and it's not natural for them. But they've just told themselves they have to play everything safe. Everything has to be safe.
Mhm.
That's when I'm saying that's when it becomes unnatural, and that's when it creates pain for that person. Now, when somebody, let's say certainty is not someone's top two needs, or it is, but it's not, but they're overvaluing certainty. They're being too responsible, too square. What happens in a relationship when somebody values certainty too much, or in a way that's too self-protective? So certainty. I saw you had a reaction there first. So, what happens in a? Okay, I'll
sorry,
come to you for sure.
my friend's distracting me. So, but this specifically, I think it would cause issues because if you're too certain, maybe it prevents people from getting within certain boundaries.
It prevents
People from getting closer to your or passing boundaries, like connection boundaries.
Okay, yeah. So what?
That's
Yeah.
what I
So
think
what you're saying is somebody keeps like a distance.
Yeah,
Somebody
I think
keeps like a
so.
wall. Right. That's right. That's right. And Kay. Okay.
Okay. It would cause. Okay, so the person would end up being controlled more than likely, and I agree with what Cersei said. Absolutely. So they would become more controlling. They'd become probably, it depends on how evolved they are. That they might become frustrated, demanding, nagging. All of that, because we're not living up to their standards. They think. I mean, everyone has their own way. But if they're way too far in that area, it would end up being an abuse situation.
It could be. There you go. So that we're controlling, because everything has to be within their framework. It has to be certain for them. That's right. Abel, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, in my case, I've definitely valued safety now more than I have in the past because of hurt.
Right.
Dennis? I can see where I could be controlling, or in my case, I think what happens with me is it's harder for me to be vulnerable. And yeah, I may be a lot more calculating. So I may require more space at the beginning and want to take things very, very slowly. As opposed to before, I would kind of I'd be a lot more eager to move the relationship forward. So yeah, I'm just speaking out loud because that's kind of what I feel, at least for now.
That's good. Okay. Yeah. So what happens when you have to be distant, when everything has to be certain for you? What happens in dating and relationships? Is there passion?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I'll speak for the one right now, is that there's passion, but I think there's fear. There's fear of like trusting that it's genuine, or that it's trusting that I'm going to be safe with the person. I think that's where I find is the biggest hurdle. And so I kind of create a distance within me where I'm like, I'm not really trusting of the connection or the relationship.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. So for everybody, a relationship is scary. For everybody, I'm not to minimize what you said. I'm just using what you said. For everybody, a relationship is scary because we have to be vulnerable. We have to express. We have to communicate. There has to be some connection. There's a certain interdependence there. So it's scary for everybody. What I found is it's harder when we overvalue certainty. It becomes really hard when we become too fearful. when we're ourselves, that's where we feel the strongest. So either way, it's gonna be scary in a relationship. But being yourself, who you really are, is where you're the most powerful, where you're the most aligned, where you're the smartest.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking right now, you know, we mentioned the love connection and how that's on the priority list.
Yes.
I think as much as I think she's a great girl, I feel like that I haven't really connected and I don't really feel that. And I think because everything else might be squared away, but that's not. I felt love and connection in the past, and I'm not feeling it now. But I didn't realize that's on my priority list, and maybe that's why I'm like hesitating to also move it forward. It's like it's like I'm almost abandoning myself as I'm continuing the relationship, but I'm not honoring that part of my values or needs, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
When you value your needs and who you really are, if it's loving connection first, and I think variety was second, we said.
Yeah.
And you put that out there, you'll figure out if you're a good match, if you can work, if you can make it work, or maybe you're not a good match. But playing in no man's land, how does that feel?
Like playing, yeah, like not knowing, yeah, it just feels like you're not even knowing why you're trying to create distance or creating space. Yeah, almost like confused or uncertain of what it is that is not really giving you that certainty or safety to move forward.
Right. Could you afford to keep doing this?
What's that?
Could you afford to keep doing this for yourself and for her?
No. I mean, I'm like dying inside as I'm like, you know, yeah, it's almost like self-destruction.
Self-destruction. That's right. Yeah, good. We're breaking patterns here. Good. Good. So for anybody that's listening, to be yourself, put forward who you are, step by step, and see if if it works. If it does, great. If not, great as well. We know now. But playing in no man's land, right now, if we're in our 20s, it might not mean anything. Early 30s, whatever. But maybe in our 40s, people start coming to me and start saying, "I don't feel. I haven't put myself first." Women say that a lot, or I'm not happy anymore. I'm not fulfilled, and I haven't been for years. But now it's getting to me, right? And again, you might not notice in your 20s and early 30s. I'm telling this to everybody, but people tend to notice in late 30s, 40s. Yeah. So Cersei will definitely come to you. So I know you have something to say. But Dennis, you want to say something? No, you don't. Yes, you do.
Yeah. Sorry, let me turn my camera on. I do totally agree with the point that William made about the safe guy or a guy that's I don't want to say obsessed with you, but how those type of guys become controlling, because I've seen it myself as a witness, right? You're always telling the woman what to do, then it becomes we do this, we do that. So yeah, I totally agree with that point. But in terms of what you just said, um, I have to agree with that in the sense that sometimes when you're in a relationship, you tend to sacrifice who you are a lot. You tend to you change, right? I mean, everyone changes, but you should change yourself for the person that you are with. And I did that.
Right.
And it didn't work out. Um, she wanted to go out less and do less things, so I stopped doing stuff, and I had some major tension between me and my friends for a long while because of it. And it's something I'm not completely proud of, but my lesson from that is that if you're not really being true to yourself, then what are you doing? Right. So.
Right. Good. Okay. Good. Right. So a lot of people start thinking afterwards, I'm going to be an asshole now, or I'm going to be a bitch or whatever.
Yeah, I'm a hustler. I'm going to do what I got to do.
I'm going to do what I got to do or whatever. And then the
money.
woman's like, I'm not going to let any man hurt me again, and I'm going to control them, or the guy goes, I'm going to control them, or whatever it is. And that's and that's not the way to go, because the first person that hurts is you, and then other people as well. So Dennis made a good point. Never sacrifice who you are. And that starts with yourself, not in a relationship. That starts with yourself. That's why it's important to know what are your top 2 needs. And you can live by that. There's no right or wrong. It's being who you naturally are. That's what self-love is. That's where, Belle, that's what I was saying before. That's where you feel the strongest, when you're yourself. And then when you're dating someone, when you're in a relationship, you be yourself and they be themselves, and you see if it works. That's where you get more certainty, as opposed to someone's, you're putting on a mask, they're putting on a mask, you're not doing this, they're not doing that, and all of a sudden it's not going good, you're not fulfilled, you break up and you go, what's going on? Or all men suck, or all women are this, or all men are this, or whatever. So that's why it's about being yourself. Now, Kate, to answer your question about nice guy. So people keep writing in the chat. I'm gonna just double check it. Go to reaction. So the nice guy thing. So I believe there's a good guy, and there are good guys, and there are nice guys. A nice guy is somebody who's changing themselves for the other person to like them, and they'll sacrifice themselves in an unhealthy way for the woman to like them, almost like being their puppy dog. Right? Dennis, yeah. A good guy is himself, and that's where, and he feels secure in himself, and he gives to, let's say, the woman or his partner because he wants to give. A good guy wants to give to the person he's with. Doesn't have to give, but he wants to give. And that's what makes him a good guy. He contributes because he wants to, not because he's scared of you leaving him. So that's the difference. Bella, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, because it's interesting you say that, because I would say that I used to be a nice guy. Just from product of how I grew up and just the personality I developed. And then it was 2.5 years from that bad relationship that I was hurt from. And then this year I started dating, and yeah, in a matter of a week, 2 weeks, sometimes on first dates, like I'm like, there's nothing here. And I'm a lot more assertive, or like confident in just saying, hey, you know what, I don't really feel like there's anything here, and I'd rather just not waste your time or my own. So yeah, I can see where that, yeah.
Very good. And you're in your 30s now, right?
I'm actually 28. Yeah, almost 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I found is typically people in their 20s, they tend to do that people pleasing, mask kind of wearing thing. And then typically around 30 or in their 30s, they start being like saying, okay, this is who I am, this is what I like, and let's see if we match. And if not, I'd rather be honest sooner than later. You seem to be a few years ahead.
Well, that's why it's been a little bit frustrating with dating, because I haven't really gone on the online dating. I'm a big believer. I run a business, so I'm a big believer in referral business. And in the same way, that's kind of how I've met my girlfriends in the past. But also talking to what Kay said, yeah, I disagree with the whole red pill thing. But I think the red pill and the feminism are like the same things, like different faces of the same coin. It's like hurt men go to the red pill for solace and comfort. It's not really fixing the issue. The issue is you have character flaws, and then women go to like this, I don't need no man, but you've just been hurt by someone who's, cluster B personality. And it also says a lot about you. So like a lot of it was me too. Like I was a people pleaser. I didn't have any boundaries. I didn't trust myself. So, but yeah, I do get that there's horrible women out there.
Hold on. You don't understand the need for feminism. I can tell by the way you're speaking about it. You're only speaking about a certain style within feminism that's only been popular the last 15 to 20 years. So I'm sorry, but you're actually wrong. The red pill manosphere thing are andro supremacist terrorists. They're trying to kill us. They are literally trying to kill us. Feminists are not trying to kill men. They're not trying to destroy their nervous systems or anything else in their lives. They're not. They've just gone about it the wrong way in the last 1.5, 2 decades. That's all. That's what you're, in my opinion, about all of that, that's what the issue is. Men don't like that. A lot of men don't like that women who have identified as feminists in the last while have demanded that men learn that they are part of an atrocious system against women, especially women of color around the world, that are the worst treated, the most targeted for every type of crime and abuse under the sun. And it's time to deal with it. That's all. Women just want acceptance, equity. That's it. That's it. That's all. So that whole, 2000s, 2000 teens, feminism thing, the younger women were like women in their teens and 20s were into, just excuse them for how they went about it. Women have put up with a hell of a lot worse by men for a long time, millennia. So it's all they want is equity. That's it. They just want everything. And they're going along with patriarchy, which will be the undoing of us. But anyway, the bottom line is you've got feminism wrong. I really wish people would not judge feminism, even though I'm not a feminist. I'm beyond that because I know that patriarchy will doom us because you need capitalism to uphold patriarchy. And it's an inadequate patriarchy. Everyone, Europoid men are killing themselves in the dozens by the day. And the boys are joining these hate groups online. And they're intersecting with...
That's okay. So,
oh, sorry.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, please don't badmouth feminism.
We got that. Thank you. So I'm going to move on to the next common pattern. There's two very common patterns. One is the certainty one. The other one is what I believe is the most common pattern in the world amongst humans. And I keep saying your name wrong, Cersei. You brought it up with the significance thing. Cersei? Yeah. So some people say they value significance first. And I've never met somebody that their real top two needs was significance. The reason is people want to be significant because what they really want is loving connection. Okay? Because our biggest fear is that we're not enough and then we won't be loved. So many of us try to be good enough, smart enough, pretty enough, athletic enough, rich enough, nice enough, whatever it is, whatever we do in a significant way, because what we really want is loving connection. Okay? And I think that's where somebody really grows. Now, when somebody is valuing significance in a relationship, what does that relationship look like? When they value significance over loving connection, like more than loving connection, when they value significance more, what does that relationship look like? Dennis.
For me, when they value significance, they talk about their boyfriend or girlfriend every single second. They talk about how their other person is successful, is rich. Sorry, let me sit down here. The fact that they have
Dennis,
somebody.
Dennis, your camera.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. All right, sorry about that. And they talk about how they always have a boyfriend or girlfriend and you don't. Right? They talk about my relationship is my life. That isn't necessarily the same thing as being controlling, but when their relationship defines who they are and becomes their identity, they become lost without it. So that's placing significance for me.
I'm asking in a relationship. If you're with somebody, if you're in a relationship and for some reason you're putting significance first or they're putting significance first, how does that relationship look?
It looks kind of unbalanced because it looks like one person's putting more effort into it than another person. It looks like one person's saying, I love you, doing all this, and that person, another person saying, okay, thank you, have a nice day, and it looks like you're trying to pull this person to keep them in a relationship rather than a 50-50 split of both people equally wanting to be in it.
Okay, yeah. So what Dennis is saying is somebody's trying to give because they want to be significant. So that's not working. And or the other person is trying to be so significant, like I'm the king, you have to serve me, or I'm the queen, and you have to serve me. Is that right, Dennis?
Yes, it is.
Yes, okay. Other people, anybody else here? How does a relationship look like when either you're valuing significance so highly or they're valuing significance so highly?
As someone that picked significance as number one, I second everything Dennis said.
You what? You second?
I second everything he said. Like when he was describing it, yeah. I was like, that's pretty on point.
Okay, there you go.
Mhm.
So do you still feel like your top two needs, there's significance in it?
I don't know. I want to hear the rest first
The rest of-
before I
the rest of
decide.
it? Sure, okay. So I saw a little bit of confusion in your face,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So what confusion means is we broke a pattern. Your brain's starting to go, what's going on? What's going on? That's awesome. So what I said before was people value significance because what they really want is love and connection. Cool. So for other people, then we'll come back to Cersei. For other people, for Lolly, how do you feel? What do you feel happens when somebody values significance so highly in a relationship?
I think it comes out a little too selfish. I
Too
guess selfish, ungrateful. Funny enough, I have a personality that I cannot express gratitude, or I cannot express if I'm feeling loved. So I cannot express, and my partner wants that. He wants, I think, a validation of if he's doing whatever he's doing is right or wrong. And a lot of problems also come from me not being expressive. And my second was significance, and my first was love and connection. So I see where you're gonna go with this now.
There you go. Okay, cool. Good. Thank you, Lolly. And who else? Brennan? What do you think happens in a relationship when somebody values significance so highly, or values significance above love and connection?
The whole me syndrome. I've actually been in a relationship or two like that in the past, where they go so high that if you end up hurting them, they tend to. I've seen this not only in my relationships but other relationships where they will go out and like spend money to make themselves feel better, so that attention is brought on them. Like I've talked to someone who had broken up with this guy who had bought like $5,000 of whatever, and complained that it was the ex-girlfriend's fault because she upset him, and his spending was because of her actions, and in all reality it was on him.
Right, because he was valuing significance so highly, right?
Right, exactly.
There you go. That's perfect. So now we're gonna go. So instead of going through everybody, it's gonna take a little bit long. I'm gonna go through what happens when, instead of significance, somebody values loving connection first in themselves and in the relationship. What does that relationship look like? Abel, what is that? And then Dennis will come to you. Abel, what does that relationship look like when somebody values loving connection first above the significance in a relationship?
Above what?
Above significance. When love and connection is more important than being significant.
Well, I would say that it would look like more intimate. More. Like more about each other's needs and each other's interests and what you both connect on, as opposed to. Could you remind me what significance is?
To feel special and needed and wanted, which is important as well. No, but you said it right. There's
can I
more
say
connection. Yeah, who's talking?
For me, when I think of love and connection, and I feel like if that's like a main priority, it might cause a lot of issues because I feel like that's something that comes kind of later, like with time building. But if you're like searching for it, like on the first day, I think it might like have a lot of people just skipping over people that it could have eventually like happened with.
I would, yeah. The only thing is, I did talk to one person that I did feel a connection. Probably, maybe not immediately, but after like one or two yeah, probably the second conversation, I was like, there's a huge connection here. Unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere. Um, but yeah, that has kind of stood out. Probably out of all the women I've dated, as something that's I'm kind of like now it seems like I don't want to settle upon it. Like I don't want to settle with something that I don't have that again. Um, and I don't know how to describe it. But it was definitely, yeah, like a connection and um, yeah.
Right. So
And I
Cersei,
didn't feel needed. I didn't feel needed. Like she was very independent and or yeah, I didn't feel like I was some kind of special person, but there was that mutual understanding. So I hear what you're saying though too, Cersei. I do hear what you're saying. That it could possibly come later. That's why I think I'm staying and I'm continuing to date because there's a lot of other things that I like about this person. So I'm trying to see if maybe there is a connection at some point. I also don't want to be naive to the fact that am I just being a little bit like hopeful or something like that. So
Can I ask how long it's been since you guys started dating?
so I've actually known her for 3 years, but it's been within like a mutual group, like a mutual friend group, and then we've only really been dating officially for about 3 weeks, I would say.
Okay. So Cersei, I think what Cersei was saying was you don't want to open yourself up so fast, so early, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Cersei?
Oh, no, I was saying that if your main priority is love and connection and you go out and you look for a relationship with that in mind,
Okay.
it can kind of like, I think it's kind of blinding because you're just like narrow-sighted and I feel like you can't really connect when you're just like, I feel like it's ironic, but you can't really connect if you're looking for a connection. Be more like relaxed and organic. And sometimes with time, that's what it feels like for me, like for friends and just everything in general. It feels harder when it's forced.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right, 100%. So what you said is when someone goes out looking for love, then it's like it's not organic. And you're absolutely right. Because they're trying to get it from somebody else. And that's like certainty almost. Love and connection is exactly what you said. You being yourself and expressing yourself and seeing what organically may come up from that or may not. That's it. So when somebody's searching for love and playing that, oh my God, love me, love me, love me, that's not love. You're right. It's being yourself. Does that make sense? Do you want to say something else? I see you kind of thinking. Are you sure? Nope. Okay. Cool. And Cersei, how do you feel now in terms of significance or love and connection first for you?
I plead the fifth until we're done with this list.
Okay. Where were we? I think Lolly said something. Okay. So another common pattern with significance and love and connection thing is people think if I'm good enough, if I'm significant enough somehow, if I'm pretty enough or rich enough, artistic enough, professional enough, I have the most achievements, I'm the nicest, I'm so different, whatever it is to be significant, then people come towards me, but I don't have to be vulnerable and try to connect with them. They'll just come towards me. And in doing that, people may come towards you, but it will always be an unfulfilling interaction with that person, an unfulfilling relationship with that person, because you yourself are not in the relationship. If somebody values significance first, that means that they're valuing the facade, their facade, not who they really are. If they're valuing significance first, they're valuing the facade of the other person, not who they really are. They're valuing the I'm in a relationship, like the name of it, rather than actually being in a relationship. And again, that might work for a certain amount of years, but over time that gets really exhausting. By show of hands, who's following and who knows what I mean? How about you know what I mean? Barry, you know what I mean? Dennis, do you know what I mean? Yeah? Yeah, awesome. So I think we've gone through everybody. Sertzi, are you ready? I can't hear you. I think your audio's off.
Audio problems.
Your audio's off, Sertzi.
Oh, I stepped away for a second. What was the question?
So we've gone through everybody. Before we get to the question and answer section of this, let me ask you again, what's first for you, significance or love and connection?
Probably love and connection or significance. I can't decide.
Okay, no problem. But that's good that you're starting to okay, good. So now we can talk about this for hours, but sorry,
wait.
go ahead.
No, because significance is more of like a materialist, like placement and role in society kind of thing, right? So,
right.
Oh, then love and connection.
Yeah, we did it. Love and connection, it's first. Let's give a round of applause. Yeah, good. Sertzi, how does that feel to live at a love and connection first?
It feels good.
Okay. Do you feel that? Did you feel that like a little bit of weight came off?
No, we have a lot of work we have to do, but I could feel like maybe eventually.
Okay. So what love and connection, what significance says is I'm either better or worse. I always have to do better. I'm never enough, is what significance says. So if somebody says, well, I love myself, I have work to do, or I got to improve, we could always do better.
Yeah.
We could do better in everything, but who we are is always, it just is. And that's love and connection.
I would like to be there. That sounds nice.
Good. Okay, so it really is nice. And that's what we talk about in other presentations, like the one we did last Wednesday, or when one-on-one coaching. So, but very, very, very good that you actually already made that distinction and that move. And then now at least you want to learn more, but you already made that emotional move, which is awesome. So good job. Good. So I promised a question and answer section part of this presentation or this event. So now I'm going to take questions about dating and relationships that's on your mind. And sometimes the best we could do, I can't answer all of it. That's what one-on-one coaching is about, but I want to do my best to answer them right now. So who has questions here about dating and relationships? Go. About.
So I guess my question is, how do you distinguish between fear and intuition when it comes to, like having a hesitancy or some kind of like something that's holding you back, but you don't quite know if it's your fear coming from experience or past experience, or your intuition saying, yeah, there's no, something's not connecting here, and trusting yourself.
Great question. Oops. You could feel the difference. It sounds so simple, but you could feel the difference, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, I hope there's a difference. Yeah. I think there is, but I yeah, I guess right now I can't distinguish.
So when we're honest, no, I'm saying I think you could. It might take you a little bit of time because as an
Okay.
ENTJ,
Yeah.
but I get it. For anybody, that's a question. What's the fear and intuition? I always say you could feel the difference. You know what the difference is. You could feel the difference. So once you get in the line, you know what fear is and what intuition is. And we could be smart. I never be stupid, never be naive. No. Like we live in the real world. This is for everybody. We could be smart, but there's smart that comes out of loving connection, which comes out of ourselves, which comes out of our intuition and experience looking at like what's really real versus fear. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. And then we have Lolly, your question.
Yeah, I have a very common question for you, I guess. How do you know if you are with the right person?
What do you mean?
So from my experience, I'm with my partner. It's been 7 to 8 years
Mhm.
now, and we met in college, and obviously we have self growth, and I feel like we've grown and we've changed, and we argue a lot. Um, and although I still like or love that person, I there's a point that you have to decide what's good and what's not for your mental health. And at this point, I'm really considering if it is even the right person for me. So,
Okay, so your original question is how do you know if it's the right person for you?
yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Great question. I would have to sit like it. I can't just give an answer. Like it's hard to. It's a good question. It's hard. No one can just give an answer like, oh, it's just this or just that. Because once you sit down with a couple, you'll see there's things coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But what I always say is get everything out on the table. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah. Yep.
And see from there, and be completely open. Communicate everything you're thinking, everything you're feeling, out of who you really are, what you really believe, and see from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's always a fear of like letting go this investment at this point, even.
Yeah.
And so a lot of things you hold back on them, but again, like I said, at a point you just have to face it.
Yeah. So we could even ask ourselves: is fear the reason we got into this situation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we weren't being our true selves. We weren't saying what we really thought or felt, and that could work in the short term in a relationship. When the long term, that stuff catches up to us. So my right,
Mhm.
so I'm talking as if I'm talking in general, but because I really believe that's your story. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good. Kay. Yes, Kay.
Oh, sorry. I was just typing with someone. I'm sorry. I've forgotten what I wanted to say.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Dennis, and then we put your hand up.
Yeah. Two quick comments. I guess you're with the right person because I guess maybe it's a Disney stereotype from a Disney movie, but you have butterflies in your stomach when you wake up, Lolly. So if that's how you if that's how you feel when you get up in the morning, then you're with the right person.
Do we
Um,
anticipate it every day since it's been like so many years? Is butterfly phase because it's all chemicals, right? And then at that point, you just leave the honeymoon phase.
Right. So firstly, Abel has to go. Let's all say bye to him. Bye.
Abo.
Hi guys.
Diego Abo.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, so there's different stages in a relationship, and the honeymoon stage is the second stage. So there's the dating stage and the honeymoon stage and other stages. And the honeymoon stage is where the butterflies in your stomach come in. Now, I believe there should always be butterflies or passion or excitement. But it depends what it is. If it's the honeymoon stage butterflies, that's different. versus the I feel passionate for the person I'm with. And then also a lie that's very common is love will solve everything, and it doesn't. It's you have to also see if you're compatible, and that's why it's important to get everything to be yourself and to get everything out on the table. Cool.
That's right. Sorry, Dennis, you had a second point? I interrupted.
Yeah, sorry. I guess my question about relationships is I guess I'll give you a hard one, Gio. When is it time to get married?
I feel like there's something else to this. So what do you mean?
If you've been together for a certain number of years, I thought it was like 3 or 4. Um, when are you supposed to propose to a girl when it's right? Because I think if you're with someone like no offense to anyone here, like more than 4 years and you aren't willing to take that next step, is that a negative thing? Or
That's a good question. Okay, so I believe this is my belief. These are my beliefs. So I believe there's no time. Like it's not like, oh, after 2 or 3 years I have to. And I think that's the trap a lot of people fall into. They think they have to. Oh, well, we've been dating for a certain amount of years, or oh, I've met their family, or oh, this, or oh, my parents are asking me about it. But I have to do that. And I think that's the complete wrong thing to do for anything in life. When somebody thinks I have to do it because my parents or a certain amount of years or whatever. So I would highly recommend against doing anything for those reasons. I'm sorry, Lolly was so said I'm so offended. Just as a joke. Yeah. Now, if you've been dating for 3 or 4 years or whatever, is it a red flag if someone doesn't want to commit? I see what you're saying. That's definitely that's definitely possible. And here's another side of the coin. Why does somebody have to get married? In the sense, why can't somebody just live together? 2 people live together and be committed to each other if that's what they choose. Why do they have to sign papers and bring in a lot of legality into it? In that sense, in that way.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a great question to ask me actually, because I feel like even today, now in 2023, it's still pressure from the families, right? Like I know my mom would be like, "You're not going to marry this girl," and if I said no, she'd keep asking me until I cracked like an egg, right? So, I think it's mostly family pressure, that people get married, and also society pressure. Um, you know, uh, I had a former boss who stuck with a guy 10 years because she really wanted to get married. And all her friends were married, and she wants to get married next September. And if that falls apart, I think she feels like this is it. Like she's not going to get married if she doesn't marry this guy. And I guess that leads kind of to the question of desperate. Well, I guess that's the wrong word to use. More like, why do we have that feeling so bad? But
yeah, because some people think once we're married, then it's for sure. Then it's for sure. Then love is for sure. And the reality is it's not, because at least American statistics, and I know we're in Canada, you, Dennis, but American statistics, they say it's like 50% of marriages end in divorce. Apparently, it's higher than that. It's 50-50 was from the past or whatever, but anyways, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's higher than 50%. So it doesn't mean shit. And all that means is it becomes a very, very expensive and very, very hard breakup. That's all it means. It doesn't change anything. You shouldn't have to need my belief is shouldn't have to need a piece of paper to feel like, oh, for sure. Oh yeah, now we're good. A lot of people also, some people when they get married, they think, okay, no, I'm good now, and they just let themselves go because they're good now. And that's when it starts going downhill as well. But I think what you're saying is you're feeling pressure from your mom and stuff. And my strong opinion is to never ever do something because of pressure from somebody else. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, awesome, cool. Lolly, yes.
Sorry, it was an accident. I wanted to 100%.
Oh, there you go. Yes, Lolly. Lolly, do you feel like you've grown throughout this time, this event together?
Oh yeah, I came in late. I feel like it was my first time. I just joined and I found out that there's an event going on at this moment, and so yeah, definitely, I'm looking forward to the second one for sure.
You're welcome. Cool. And I can hear the growth in your voice. Sorry, Brendan, you want to say something?
Yeah, and Lolly, if you're interested in joining our other events, because we do more, Giovanni's a massive event host now, but we have our dream analysis, we have my date synchronicity analysis, we have other events. If you're willing to join those, I can put the Discord link in the chat.
Yes, please. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
All right, let me go ahead and do it. It's thehiddenstone.org. Once you put that in, it should redirect you straight to the Discord.
Is the synchronicity analysis mostly numerical, or is it also like literary?
It actually ties into a lot of that. Obviously, I don't want to take away Giovanni's event, but it deals more with psychological patterns and like, okay, well, you have an idea about one thing being great, and you're going to create that self-fulfilling prophecy. That's essentially what it is. Astrology talks about this. But really, when you start looking at the data analysis side of things, you're really looking at, oh, I had a really good day on Thursday, October 5th, 2017. Thursday the 5th is now subconsciously a good day in my head, and I must make the next Thursday the 5th a good day.
Yeah.
And people call it fate and astrology or whatever it is, but in all reality, it's your own subconscious just projecting.
I definitely want to join, because like with my Facebook memories, sometimes I'll be like, wow, every year on this day it'll be the same exact like trial or challenge, and I'm like, what? But it'd be cool to actually start jotting it down and stuff.
Exactly. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing people reach out to random people on a particular day, and they're like, they get shocked that it's 5 years. In all reality, that day is still in their head, even if they can't consciously remember it.
I know we talked about that on the phone, and I was like, wait, maybe it is logged, and I just don't consciously know it.
Yeah.
But it'll be like 5 years ago, or 5 years ago, you checked on this person, so you have to check on them again. And
yeah, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. Back to you, Giovanni.
Okay, awesome. Cersei, questions?
How do you know what's a good balance between like being, because I'm like really bossy, and I don't know like what's a good balance between like having, or like, is there a balance with like that in the relationship? Is it bad to be bossy in the relationship?
Okay, good. Okay. Well, firstly, that's good that you're being open and honest about it. That's cool. Good. So nothing's good or bad, but let me ask you, what need or needs do you feel like you're meeting by being bossy?
All the tasks are being done, and I think they wouldn't be done if I wasn't bossy.
Right. Dennis is laughing. No, I said, so remember the 6 human needs?
Yeah.
Which need or needs do you feel like you're meeting by being bossy?
Growth.
Are you sure?
Can I see the list again? Was it I think significance probably for that, right? Or something. Growth makes me think of like getting things done and like progressing.
I will bring up the chart. It's really important.
Probably the certainty, because it's like everything's constantly being done by, I think it's mostly certainty for me.
Certainty, okay. That's what I thought too. Okay, awesome, good. So whenever we say, why am I doing this? We have to put it to one of these. Is it just certain? Is it just certainty?
I feel like it's probably certainty, significance, and growth. Those are all like the effectiveness slash like progress ones.
Okay, right. So growth, I don't know. I think you're trying to say it's growth, so in order to kind of make yourself feel like it's something positive, kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking. Certainty, you're absolutely right. Significance, when you said significance, there was something in your voice.
Because I feel like, I don't think it's significance. I think it's mostly certainty.
No, I think there's something with significance as well.
I guess because I associate that with like materialism, but I'm not sure.
It's okay. Let me ask you this: what would happen? You said it before. What would happen if you weren't bossy?
nothing would get done. And I think people would forget appointments and stuff.
Okay. And how would you feel if nothing got done and people forgot appointments? How would you feel?
I would feel like nothing's working effectively.
Okay, and
Then I would feel sad.
okay, what do you mean by sad?
Like everything's failing. I'm not sure how to describe it.
Sad. That's more something's failing. That's go a little bit deeper. What do you mean by sad?
That's as far as I can go, I think.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you feel like things would not get done and people would not do things if you weren't bossy,
Yeah.
and you would feel like things aren't being achieved,
Yeah.
right? And things aren't progressing.
Hmm.
And if things aren't being achieved or progressing, then you would feel like you don't matter. Like, yeah, you don't matter.
I guess like losing control.
Losing control.
I mean, because I would still matter to myself, and I would still matter to the other person, but I feel like I would be losing control of like the pattern and the routine and everything.
Okay. So is it everybody that you have to like that if you didn't do that, they would just forget appointments and
Yeah, everyone around me
every
doesn't really have a calendar.
okay. Are you hanging out with the same type of people?
Well, I mean, people in my degree program, they all obviously have calendars, but there is only like a few. I don't really see that many people like that out in the world.
Okay, so just
Most
in your,
people around me are artists, and artists don't usually have calendars.
gotcha. Okay. Is there another way you could act that's more natural to you than being bossy, than acting bossy?
Well, not really, because I've always been like that ever since I was like a kid. So
Okay.
I wonder if it's like a way that is, or if it's a bad, or well, you said there's no good or bad, but if it's like if there's another way to be, like
Yeah.
I guess a responsible like reminder of things, or a person that reminds people of things without being bossy, but that's probably like a one-on-one, like
Yeah.
2 or 3 hour kind of thing.
Maybe, but let me see if I could get something there without going too deep. I get that. Okay. So when I say good or bad, I believe there's healthy and unhealthy,
Okay.
and I believe healthy is what's natural.
Yeah.
If there's like a certain heaviness to it, then it's
I'm gonna
unhealthy.
give like a direct example. My boyfriend does not like to take out the trash. I feel like this is a common issue.
Okay.
Because
That's
like,
a huge red flag, actually.
why?
You can't do basic tasks. That means you won't be a good husband. Or at least that's what my
Oh,
father told me.
That's funny.
I don't associate it like with that kind of strong symbolism, but I'm just like, how do you tell them to do
Okay, so
something?
no. So he said he doesn't take out the trash. And
Or he doesn't
what's
want to do it on the same schedule as me. So he probably, if he lived alone, would be on a different schedule than me.
okay. And okay. So he does it, he just wants to do it on his own time, right? Okay. Is he like that just for throwing out the garbage?
Yeah.
Just for that. Everything else you're in control?
Hmm.
Okay. Gotcha. So you're with somebody that you could control, right? How does that feel?
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so Lisa, this is probably a one-on-one thing in the sense you've got somebody that you always want to control because you want certainty, but there's a reason why you want certainty. You're trying to keep control because you're scared of losing something. So you're with somebody that you feel like you control. So that alleviates a fear of losing something. And some common ones are fear of them losing me or fear of them leaving me. So if I control them, they'll never leave me. Right? And that's where we talked about at the beginning of the presentation, self-love. when you feel low with yourself, you be yourself instead of being scared of, somebody leaving you and having to control. Now, when you find someone to control, and I won't ask you here, but if you date a masculine guy, and I don't mean like rah, 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 I'm saying masculine guy that's in his masculine needs to feel free. Guys love to feel free. So if they're being controlled all the time, there's going to be a point where he's going to go back and be like, stop, like, I don't like this anymore. And he's going to bark at you and you're going to feel hurt by doing that. If you're with a guy who's like a feminine guy, I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but with a feminine guy, you might control him and he might never leave you, but there'll never be that polarity there, that difference of energies. And you're never going to feel that passion and attraction long term. You'll feel safe, but you're never going to feel fulfilled or passionate. So to answer your question, I think it's about looking about what that fear is of what you're afraid of losing as the starting point. That would be for one-on-one coaching.
For the one-on-one, I would probably ask how to effectively make him take out the trash.
Okay, yeah.
For another time.
Yeah, and if that's the goal, how do I make somebody do that? Then that's funny. It's the same pattern. It's the same pattern, and someone might get temporary relief from that, but long term they will not be fulfilled or happy in relationship or in themselves. Yeah, so I'm giving you the truth. Does that kind of give you some kind of at least knowledge of what's going on?
Yeah, I think it's just a lot for me because it's a lot of stuff I don't usually think about.
Yes. Yes, you're welcome.
Was Dennis raising his hand?
Lolly is.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say bye, Dennis. I think Dennis is leaving.
Oh, Dennis.
Hi guys.
Dennis, you're leaving?
Yeah, I gotta go, man. So, yeah, I gotta go.
No problem. We'll talk after, Dennis.
We'll talk after for sure. Yeah. All right. See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye, guys. Bye, Lolly.
Hi. So I do have a follow-up question on that, Giovanni. For me, I am a perfectionist, which I'm trying to sway away from because it could get really toxic for myself and for the people around me. Pretty naggy, I would say. But if Sergi, her partner doesn't take out trash, my partner has excuses if he forgot maybe, or if he's busy doing something, he's remotely working from home, so I don't know, his excuse really doesn't make sense. But there are a few things called there's one big thing called house rules. And I think everybody should kind of abide by that. And a lot of quarrels that we have are connected to that. My mom taught me certain things should be done certain ways, especially, I mean, I'm not saying, oh, as a woman, I'm supposed to do blah, blah, blah. But I feel like I do it naturally. And if there are certain things that I would expect from him that should also come naturally, doesn't come naturally, and then I have to start telling him every time, and then that falls under the nagging department, right, which I don't think that's right.
Gotcha. Okay, totally get that. So as a quick answer without going really deep into it, if someone really doesn't like how their partner is, don't try to change them. Don't try to change them. If you're really on two different pages, like two opposite pages here, it might not be the right relationship. Mm-hmm. You cannot force somebody. You cannot control somebody. You cannot change somebody. You cannot nag somebody. It's going to get annoying. It's not going to work. So you might just be on two separate pages, and this might not be the right relationship for you. Maybe. Mm-hmm. Another thing is if somebody acts as a perfectionist, for somebody else, it could be too much for them. Like they might throw out the trash, or they might do things or whatever, maybe. But when we're with somebody who's so anal about things, it could feel too much, and someone wants to feel lighter. Like they don't want somebody who's like everything. So does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. That's just how I am. I mean, I just, things have to be done at a perfect time. I'm not saying that, okay, if you don't do it at 6 p.m., then you're dead, but they have to be done. You know, you can't just do loosely. Like, you just can't do things. Everything has a consequence, if you know what I'm saying. Like, my trash only comes every Friday, and now I don't have anywhere to put my trash in. So what am I going to do? Things like that.
Okay, so if you're saying this is who you are, and this is very important to you, then again, it's either and your partner does not want to do it, then you have different values. Totally
Yeah,
different
it's not
values.
that he doesn't want to do it. He will do it at his time. Even if it's over flooding, he will still do it at his time. And then eventually I go do it. But then if I keep doing things like that, that his mom is supposed to teach him, and now I take up that role, I don't want to do that.
Okay, so totally get that. So again, if it's too different, like you really can't live with it, then again, that's a discussion about maybe we're not a good match yet. If it's that important to you, and it might be, and I'm not saying that like in a bad
Oh,
way.
it's just an example. Yeah, it's just an
Okay.
example. I mean, I don't mind taking out trash at all, but I feel like one would lead to another, would lead to another, would lead to another. Trash is just a small example. Yeah.
Okay, so one thing, as I'm not saying this is for everything, but one little strategy is nagging is very unattractive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And you know it. You don't want to do that
I
either.
do.
I get it. So one way to do it is you go up to him and say, "Honey, could you throw out the trash?" and be like your feminine self. I don't know. and go and like in your feminine self, could you do it for me? And you hug him and kiss him or whatever. And then he does, and you go, I thank you so much, and you hug him and kiss him again. That trains him differently. Not trains him, but that's different from, you know what I mean? That's so much love. That's
Yeah.
playful. That's playful, as opposed to anal all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. Now I'll have to. Well, that changes my personality because I'm not the huggy muggy kind of person, and I'll have to do that for each and every single thing, I feel like. But for us, it's priorities. Like, if I and him, like, we should respect each other's priority. Like, what's important for me, if he respects that, I'm happy, vice versa. And consistency. If you're I'm a, they say man of words, but I'm a woman of words, if that's even a term. um and I don't see that in my partner, so that's another clash. There's a lot of clashes. We
Okay,
went
we're
like this
learning
before.
something. We're learning something. Okay, so I'm giving you ideas, and if you're saying, it really sounds like you're saying, okay, that sounds nice, but like this is the way I am, this is how things have to be done, and he's not that way, and he has to be that way, then again, this is something that the relationship may not be a good relationship,
Right.
relationship,
Right.
because you're seeing there's things that you value highly that he does not, and you can't, and you don't want to accept that. You don't have to. So I'm saying you're learning about your relationship now.
Oh yeah, learning about relationship and myself as well. The only problem is, and again, I can, when we meet again, I can touch base on this or a one-on-one, but I feel like the problem occurs really largely because we are under the same roof.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Oh, we live together.
No.
Yeah.
Why is that the problem? Is what I'm saying. Is what I'm asking.
You were talking about divorce, and I live in the States. And technically, although we're still not married on the paper, everything is just how a married couple would live like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, again, I'm not saying this may not be the right relationship for you. Maybe not. I don't know. But what happens is when somebody's together so much, that creates a lot of comfortability and certainty and potentially love. But what creates attraction and passion is differences. Okay, so I'll say that very simply. If you're in the house together all the time together, that's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, relationship, the people have to do their separate things. There has to be separation at times. He has to do his thing, you have to do your thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the last time we had an argument, we did talk about this. Sometimes you're a little too comfortable and you feel like his time is yours, your time is his. And that definitely you lose your identity, which is not really good.
Right. And you lose attraction.
And that, absolutely, yeah.
So what I'm saying, you're living, like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Good. And I think Cersei had, you wanted to say something? You and Law, you're going to the same thing.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that when you mentioned that it'd be more effective to be nice and like to be
They
sweet
didn't say nice.
or to be sweet as a way of getting them to take out the trash. I feel like by the time I have to ask, I'm already like wanting to do silent treatment for a week.
Yeah.
I
It'd be hard
do
to
that. Oh
be-
my God, I'm doing it
It'd be
right
hard to
now.
be nice.
Yeah.
So I feel like being nice would be like a reward for something that they already messed up with on, which would be forgetting.
Okay, so I get it. So it's that mentality, that
Yeah.
mindset. It's that mindset, like, okay, I gotta keep them in order, or else they're gonna mess up, and then I'm gonna.
It's not right.
It's not right, and I gotta be nice. I'm not being nice. What's this nice thing that this coach told me to do? I'm not doing this nice thing. I get it. So, you know Tony Robbins, right? You like Tony Robbins?
Yeah, he's cool.
Okay. He's cool. Lolly, do you know Tony Robbins?
No, I do not.
Okay, he's the, I believe, top coach in the world. He does relationship coaching as well. So he says it's who you choose in a relationship, not the other person, who you choose to be in a relationship. So if somebody chooses to have a mindset of, I have to keep them in order and they have to do everything I say, and I have to control them, then you're going to get certain outcomes from that, right? And you're going to approach a relationship in a certain way. You're going to value certain things, and certain things you're going to have. Your relationship's going to be a certain way, and it's not hard to figure out. So
I think talking about it makes it sound like so illogical, like my method. But I think at the time I'm just going on emotion, and I'm just like, this is what I need to happen. This is how it makes me feel.
yes, and when that's really good honesty there. What you're saying is it's something subconsciously.
Yeah, or more instinctual or habitual or something.
Instinctual, yeah, and then it has become a habit. Yes, because like I said, it sounds like there's fear there that you're trying to control. So that makes perfect sense. Why the mindset is, I want to control this. You have to do what I say. If you don't do what I say, how do I get them to do it? Yeah. So it sounds illogical, and it is, and it's not working. You're absolutely right. But the thing is, it's not about shaming ourselves. It's about asking ourselves, let me take a couple steps back. Why am I doing that? What's the belief? What's the fear? Because you're not a bad person. You're doing it because you're trying to protect yourself. Or
I think it helps to talk about it, because now I'm like, it's actually not, maybe I could be like more patient about it. And like, so I feel like when you attack or go towards somebody like with attacking vibes, then they'll probably respond that way too.
what? I didn't know that.
Me neither.
Okay, that's good. That's really good. And that's exactly what I was saying about now, if somebody is too nice and that someone like they're a doormat or whatever, I'm not.
Oh,
that's not that. No, nothing like that. But when someone's always like a boss bitch, bitch or whatever, it's an hour trying to control. That's what I'm saying. A little bit of sweetness and that femininity goes a long way. Women have so much power by being feminine, by being their feminine selves, whatever that looks like for you.
Like, I can't do it. It's too heavy. like that kind of
Yeah. But not in a fake way. So
Okay.
before you said that, I saw you moving a little bit into well, I was laughing. I saw you moving a little bit into your feminine. Is that true? Was that true?
No.
No? Okay. No, screw
I'm just
that.
I'm gonna leave like a list on the refrigerator and hope that works. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
So that won't, because he probably loves you and he probably adores you. So I think being yourself, your loving self, would transform things more than you think.
Hmm.
Yeah. But again, not faking it, being genuine about it. But again, that starts from yourself, being loving with yourself and not being so hard on yourself. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lolly, yes. And this will be the last question because Brennan's like, I'm sorry, Brennan, we've gone so over time.
Oh, good.
No, I really appreciate it, both of you guys. Yes, last question, and I want to make this on a solution side. I know you dropped a few gems here, notes taken, but I want to get into the guy's mindset, the guy's perspective. You said that, we as women have a lot of power. Now, I'm not talking about the manipulative ways, but I'm talking about why don't they do that? Like, if it's important for me, then if it is important for me, then I think he should do it the way I do it. But what goes into their mind, and we how can we get things done without making it a big deal? I feel like it's just a common stuff.
Okay. So this is what you're asking me?
Yeah, so sorry, two-parted question. One, what's the mindset? What's the guy's mindset on this?
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, so there's some people ask the question like, "What's the guy's mindset?" Like, I want to empathize and really understand it because this is something we're doing together,
Correct.
and this is where we're learning. Then there's the question of what's the guy's mindset, so I could like, why doesn't he do it? Why doesn't he just do what I'm saying? Like, what's going through his mind that he's not doing what I'm saying? Does he not love me? Does he not care for me? Does he not believe in rules? How could I find out so I could leverage that? Use that in my favor. Which one are you asking, Lolly?
The first one. The
Are
second
you
one
sure?
yeah. And the
Okay.
reason why I say that is because although the second one sounds more like on the emotional side of it, you sound a little bit frustrated. And again, like I said, the emotional part of it, I think I'm past that. Now I'm so much logical that I want to get into his brain and see what he's thinking. So
Okay.
I can, if I have to switch my gears, I can do that as well. Because I'm not perfect and I know that.
Okay, good. Hey, she's not perfect. Yeah. She admitted it. That's good. That's good. That's good. And you don't have to be either. Nobody is. Is he a masculine or feminine guy?
In the middle.
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure, yeah.
Which one more though?
Feminine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he probably likes it to an extent that you do take charge and keep things organized and so forth, right? Yep. Okay. And you're proud about that too, am I right?
I wouldn't say I'm proud about that. It's just easier because my personality is like that. He's more romantic. He's more like go with the flow.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So in his mindset, just from the little I've heard, it sounds like he likes that side of you because it's polarity. So it's like opposites. So he's more like laid back and you're a little bit more take charge and keep things organized and so forth. More of a little bit of a masculine energy. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
Yeah. No, I understand. But that is true. Yeah.
Right. So he likes that. But there's a point where it becomes like too much and it's not attractive and like it's not polarity. It's like it's too much.
Correct.
So, and you know it too, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, good. One thing, and this will be for both of you, is to integrate each other's traits to a certain extent. So if he was here, I would say to him, for him to be what he naturally is, which I'm sure there's a little bit more masculinity in him than there's a little bit more structure in him than he's portraying and he's expressing. So I would say you could allow that part of yourself to come out to your husband or to your partner, sorry. For you, Lolly, I would say you could allow a little bit of your femininity, a little bit of your easygoingness to come out as well. So you won't resent him so much for being the way he is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tough. It's a little tough, but it's totally doable for experiment purposes.
Okay. To see if he holds up his end. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, this is where one-on-one coaching is all about, because this goes into your belief that you need to be perfect.
Correct.
This is a part of it, right? It takes, I'm saying there's both of you in a relationship, but I'm saying from your side. Right? That's the one-on-one coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Cersei, I think you have something to say, but I want to respect Brennan. I've totally
It's fine. You can keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say I have to go.
Okay, so I'm just going to mention, I want to mention when everybody was here, but about my services. Firstly, with the presentation from the people here from the beginning, I do it if you have an organization or a company or a group that wants to know about how to feel self-love, especially for women who want to feel self-love, to help them with dating and help them feel secure in dating and relationships. Just message me on Instagram or go to my website and let me know. My Instagram, I will put it in the chat. It's at dating_love_relationship _coach. Oops. It's going direct. There you go. And for one-on-one, I also do one-on-one coaching, obviously. And you're both in the States, is that right, Lolly and Cersei?
Yes.
Okay. So the first step is a phone consultation. Second step is an in-person or virtual consultation to see if we're a good fit to work together. And then we put a package together, and the goal is to achieve certain emotional results at 8s, 9s, and 10s. So it's not just talking; it's really results focused, my coaching. Okay. Some people say, how much does it cost? And that's something we talk about at step 2, which is the in-person or virtual consultation. But what I can say is, if we both feel like we're a perfect fit to work together, and you're totally motivated and totally ready to make progress, I do my best to work within your budget. I don't make any promises, but I do my best to work within your budget, because the most important thing is that we work on getting the results. Sorry, there's one last thing too. And how to contact me, either through Instagram. You could Google Inspire Yourself Life Coaching to see my reviews and a link to my websites. Perfect. And then anybody else that you feel like would really, especially women that you feel like would really need to feel secure in their relationship, so they do better, so they feel better, and they do better in dating or relationships. Think of 2 women that you know to tell them about me, to see if I could help them. And as an extra gift to both of you here, message me on Instagram to take a free personality test. I'll send you a link. You take the test. You let me know your top 3 and your email, and I'll email you a personalized report. Cool?
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. This is great.
You're welcome. And then we'll see you, maybe in a week or a month, or I have to discuss with Brendan, but we'll see each other soon.
Bye. Have a good
Well,
night.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Bye. All right, let me stop recording.